You're listening to WOSD. I'm your host, Layla Palmer, from the OSD Marketing, Communications, and Events team. Thank you for joining us for another installment of WOSD News. In this episode, exhibitors and attendees from MASSBUYS 2024 will share their insights from last year's event. For some, it was their first experience at MASSBUYS, while for others, it has become a highlight among many memorable and productive events. Stay tuned to discover the value of the MASSBUYS Expo and hear firsthand why businesses return year after year. For more than 20 years, OSD has hosted the MASSBUYS Expo, a business-to-government trade show and conference designed exclusively for Commonwealth statewide contract vendors and public purchasing and procurement officials. At MASSBUYS, exhibitors and attendees have the opportunity to network, discuss products and services available through statewide contracts, and attend workshops presented by industry experts. The MASSBUYS Expo is returning to Gillette Stadium on May 1st, 2025. Through a satisfaction survey following MASSBUYS 2024, OSD learned that 78% of exhibitors and attendees were satisfied or very satisfied with the value they received from the event. Recently, the Pod Squad tracked down a few survey respondents to hear about their experience at the MASSBUYS Expo 2024. Among the highlights for exhibitors were face-to-face interaction with existing and potential buyers and valuable networking opportunities. Robin Decker, an exhibitor with EFI Global Incorporated, expressed her enthusiasm about the networking opportunities and informative series of workshops available at MASSBUYS. Let's hear more about Robin's experience at the event and learn why she continues to return year after year.
My name is Robin Decker. My company is EFI Global Inc. out of Wilmington, Mass., and I'm a principal in the organization focusing on business development. I'll date myself if I tell you how many, but I've gone to many, probably since about the inception of the shows. So we've been to them from all the years when you used to be in Worcester, and then some in Boston, and of course Gillette Stadium is our absolute fave. After the pandemic, everybody couldn't wait to get back to Gillette. Participants and vendors alike, everybody was just psyched to be there. So that was really great. I will tell you, I went to a session for the first time. This time I went to the entire active shooter presentation, which was phenomenal, maybe life-changing. I mean, it gave such good skills. That was really meaningful to me, enough so that I came back to my office and put some things in effect for safety. So I think the sessions were all well regarded. The vendor event, usually I go to it for a few minutes, but this one we met people that we hadn't met in other booths. All of our competitors were there. We got a good old time with them, but obviously the best part is the leads we got out of it. I mean, the vast majority of attendees were prospective clients for us, and it was a really good show from a business perspective. We got 2 new clients out of it. You know, your placement's important, and the faster you sign up, the better space typically you get. We like to get ours early. We take a look at, who the attendees are coming. We get all of our emails out to all of our existing clients that we're going, what our booth space is. So I would just say a little bit of preparation goes a long way so that you don't just show up and have a plan for who you're going to meet and when.
Robin's game plan for the event sure seems to be working for EFI Global each year. On the other hand, attendees made up of executive department buyers, municipal workers, and employees from other eligible entities found value in the educational workshops and networking with vendors and peers. Gregoire from the city of Watertown attended MASSBUYS for the first time in 2024. Let's hear about his experience as a first-time attendee of the event.
My name is Gregoire. I am the project manager for the city of Watertown. I've been here for a little over a year now. Being able to talk directly to the vendors and be able to just, go from one to the other and see the comparisons, and with that back knowledge of you're dealing with vendors that are already been vetted by the state, it's a valuable tool. If you think you don't have the time to go and spend a day there and spend the time with the vendors, you don't understand how much time you're losing by not going. The day-to-day savings by using that as a resource has been an invaluable tool to me, because it's a tool that I didn't know existed in my last job. I would say this. I thought the coolest thing there was the battery heavy equipment. Just blew my mind. You know, I'm a toys guy. I love toys and trucks, and I'm a carpenter. That's the core of my trade. But I was very impressed with that, you know, being able to see what they were doing with, you know, tractors and excavators on the battery side. You know, that's where things are going, and their availability to use those in the city. The more you can get this into the cities, the better, because of air quality. I'm not an environmentalist. It's just really about the air that we breathe and just day-to-day stuff. But I really enjoyed it. I love going to that. I look forward to going again in May. I will be there for that event.
Finally, we spoke with Marisa de la Paz, Director of the Office of Multilingual Services at the Executive Office of Labor and Workforce Development, who emphasized the importance of face-to-face communication in business. Let's hear about her experience attending MASSBUYS 2024 and learn about the value she gained from the event.
My name is Marisa de la Paz. I am the Director of the Office of Multilingual Services for the Executive Office of Labor and Workforce Development. Since the first time that they launched the expo, I have been going. I have to tell you, I truly, truly believe that MASSBUYS EXPO is a great way to connect with the statewide approved vendors, and especially to see them in person and have in-person conversation and ask all the important questions related to the services they provide. I'm a people's person, and there is nothing like seeing people face-to-face. And also the demonstrations are a great way to see the products at hand. I also enjoy the workshops. And the last expo one was absolutely amazing. It's a current affair. It's the AI. And that was super, super, super informative. And I think it's the future, and we need to be aware of what's going on. I would say 100% worth going, taking the time to get out of the office. Sometimes it's difficult, but I think it's very important to do that. 100% worth.
Great insights from our MASSBUYS 2024 exhibitors and attendees. OSD's marketing, communications, and events team is excited to return to Gillette Stadium for MASSBUYS Expo 2025, taking place on May 1st, 2025. Exhibitor registration is now open, and registration for attendees will open later this winter. For more information about the MASSBUYS Expo 2025, please visit massbuysexpo.com or contact the OSD marketing team with questions at massbuys-expo@mass.gov. This concludes today's episode sharing testimonials from MASSBUYS 2024. OSD looks forward to engaging with you on our social media and YouTube channels. Links to those are in the description box. To suggest ideas for future podcasts, email the OSD team at osdoutreach@mass.gov. Thank you to Robin Decker, Glenn Gregoire, and Marisa de la Paz for joining us today. This podcast was produced, audio engineered, and edited by me, Layla Palmer. Thank you for joining us.